It is currently Good Friday here in Colombia, or as they say in Spanish, Viernes Santo, and the city of Medellin has almost completely emptied out for Semana Santa. As a lot of you guys know, Colombia is a very religious country, it's Catholic, and so for this week, Holy Week, during Easter, Semana Santa, whichever name you want to call it, people go outside the city, they go to their finquitas, they go to little pueblitos, they basically clear out of the city, and it's really interesting because it completely changes how the city of Medellin feels. Now, interestingly, this time last year, I was traveling in Guatemala. I was actually in Antigua Guatemala, which is one of the most well-known places for Semana Santa. And interestingly, that kind of pueblito is not really a city, it's more like a big town, is completely rammed during Semana Santa. Unlike Medellin, which is completely emptied out. I'm currently on Avenida Poblado, as some of you guys have probably recognized. And this street is usually jammed packed full of motorbikes, buses, cars this summer day. But at the moment, there isn't that much. Look, just check this out. I'll just show you guys how kind of empty it is now. So normally all of this street on both sides will be rammed full of traffic. It is around, what is the time? It's around 12:15 on Friday. And there's a bit of traffic here. Because look, not that much. And it's a beautiful day, as you can see. But there's just not that much traffic going on. All of this is empty. No. And yet it really changes how the city of Medellin feels. So a lot of you guys know, either from watching my other videos or maybe you live in Medellin, you're a paisa, and so you know this already. One of the downsides of Medellin is the traffic, is the noise, it's the pollution, it's the non-stop motos because it's hilly. The cars and the vehicles need to use a lot of power, which is loud, to get up the hills. And so there's just a lot of noise, congestion, background noise. And yeah, I do have to say it is one of the downsides of living in Medellin and just being in the city is it's busy all of the time. But obviously, Semana Santa, Good Friday, Viernes Santo, when the city completely empties out. It's nice, it's super quiet. There's obviously a main road, so there's a little bit of background noise, but overall, there's not that much going on, and the city has really slowed down for Holy Week. And it's really not just in Medellin as well. The first time I was actually in Colombia, I was in Pereira 2 years ago on this day, Viernes Santo in Pereira, and every single shop, restaurant, cafe, bar was closed in Pereira, and I ended up watching the religious procession, which had like, was it 17 Marys or 20 Marys or something like this, for like 3 or 4 hours in the middle of Pereira. They closed down the whole city. So in hindsight, it was a terrible day to go and try and explore Pereira because there was just literally nothing open for me as a tourist. But then on the other hand, I saw lots of families there. It was super busy. People, I guess, hitting up Pereira for Good Friday. There's that big procession. I got a really authentic kind of Colombian feel, I guess, of the whole experience. And it was nice. And yeah, before I get absolutely killed in the comments for being a foreigner and a gringo and I don't know anything about Colombian culture, yada yada yada, the plus side of Medellin emptying out for Thursday and Friday and the weekend this week is it's more calm, it's more relaxed, there's a lot less traffic, there's not much going on, you don't get too many motos bustling around the suburbs, there's not that many cars, you don't get these big lorries, it's nice and relaxed. But then on the other hand, there is a downside. I personally feel like maybe the magic of Medellin that everyone talks about, including myself, just like the feeling of the city, the excitedness of it, the fact there's always something going on, kind of goes and disappears when the people disappear and go from the city as well. So I guess it's an interesting observation of this time of year is that you get, on the one hand, it is nice and relaxed, it's quiet, there's not much going on, all the shops are shut, you can just take your time. This morning I just spent an hour or two on my balcony catching up with some friends back home, enjoying a little cafecito with B. It was really nice. But then on the other hand, it feels like, yeah, the magic of Medellin is kind of diminished a little bit, there's not as much going on, it kind of feels like everything's slowed down maybe a bit too much. That feeling that you're kind of in the center of what's happening in Colombia kind of dwindles along with the people that have left for the finquitas, for the coast, for Semana Santa. And it's interesting, isn't it? It's almost like one of those things where you should be careful what you wish for, because for me anyway, coming from even a big city like London, there are many pockets of London which are super quiet, which are super tranquil. You get streets which are no through streets. There's not that much traffic in those areas. So coming to somewhere like Medellin where it's like 24/7 traffic all the time, even on the quiet streets, there's always people ordering Rappi with their motorbikes, things like that. I do usually wish Medellin was a little bit quieter and there was less traffic and congestion. But then again, when it is quiet like this, just look at this. So guys, normally this street, again, we're still on Avenida Poblado, is absolutely buzzing with traffic. It is middle of the day here, but there's just really not that much going on, is there? Look, in this kind of set of traffic lights, you've got 2 motos and a car. And then on the other side, you've got a little bit. But yeah, not much. I can like happily walk through the middle of the street. I wouldn't recommend doing this. But look, it's almost like a ciclovia, no? Obviously I'm going to get out, there's some traffic coming now. But anyway, it's really nice. But then again, the magic of Medellin has kind of gone a little bit. So yeah, I just thought you guys would find it interesting to see that Semana Santa, Colombia basically slows down to 1 mile an hour. People just take time off. There's no one working. You can't really get your manual del dia like you usually can for lunch. All the shops are shut. There's no way in hell you're going to try and return a product you just bought. If you know, you know. And yeah, it just encourages you to slow down, to take it easy as well. And I really like that, honestly. It's almost like a part of Latin culture, Colombian culture, whereby during Semana Santa, you are forced to slow down and not do much, maybe just hang out with some friends or see some family if you have family here, because there's just not much going on. Look, there's a little cafe open here. If you want to get a little cafecito, they're open. So some shops are open, I guess. And because most shops are shut, the ones that are open probably do a killing with business, because people are out on a walk. People just want to grab a little cafecito when they're out and about. So I guess for the businesses which are open, it's quids in for them. But I think the vast majority of people and businesses slow down for Thursday and Friday this week. And yeah, it's a really nice part of Colombian culture, which I'm currently embracing. I've had a nice quiet day so far. I'm just on my way to the gym as usual. And yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.